be? Whoa, what is that at the top of the video? Could it be live subtitles in PowerPoint? Why, yes, that's exactly what those are. And I'm going to show you how to set them up and show you some demos so you can see how accurate it is. So buckle up because here we go. All right, let's get to the live demo. Exit out of that view here. All right, this is how easy it is, just a couple of clicks. I'm here in the slideshow tab, and all you have to do is check always use subtitles, and then you go here to the subtitle settings. You choose the language you're speaking, and there's, a few options there, and then you can choose what language you want the subtitles to be in, and there's more language options for that. Make sure you choose your microphone, and then you just choose where you want the subtitles to be. Right now, I have them above the slide. And then for at least Windows, you can click and there's more settings like the style and the size. So that is it. And then you've got live subtitles in PowerPoint. Again, that's how easy it was. Slideshow tab, check always use subtitles, set your languages, choose your microphone. That's tripped me up a few times and it hasn't worked, but it's because I just forgot to choose the right microphone. And then choose the position of where you want the subtitles to be. So in just a few clicks, you have live subtitles in PowerPoint. But how accurate is it really? Well, here is one demo. I'm going to do a few throughout this video so you can see how good it does. But there's my actual script so you can see what I'm saying and then compare to how well the subtitles do. Are you ready? Okay. I am convinced that we can work together to end death by PowerPoint. There is no reason we should be so boring or confusing when we share data with others. We can do better and inspire our audiences to use data to improve the world. How well did it do? Comment below. I couldn't watch while I recorded the video, so let me know. And you know what? Why not? Why don't we switch the language that it's going to display? And I'm going to choose Spanish. Let's just do this one more time so you can see how well it works. Okay. I am convinced that we can work together to end death by PowerPoint. There is no reason that we should be so boring or confusing when we share data with others. We can do better and inspire our audiences to use data to improve the world. Okay. This is fun to test. I hope you enjoyed that. So yeah, again, let me know how well that did. All right, let me just switch this back to, as you can tell, my computer is actually over here, not by my camera. Okay. All right. Yeah, let me know how it did. So have I actually used these? Yes, I did it once I did 3 webinars in a day and we used the subtitles. So I haven't used them a lot, but I have done it once. And I've also talked to other people who have used it. So taking all of that together, there's sort of a consensus that it's really promising. As you can see, there's clearly a delay. It's a little slower than my speech. And, as far as I know, so far it's mostly the people I've talked to are sort of like me. We're speaking English. It's our first language. So that probably has something to do with it. And at least for me, I'm originally from Chicago, so I have a very Midwestern accent. So I don't really know how well it works for other accents or people who speak other languages. So please, I really want to hear from you all. This is just sort of a quick video to let people know about it, but comment below with how well it works for you. Because I'm really just curious and I'm not really sure how it works in other contexts. But a weakness that I have heard about PowerPoint live subtitles is that it doesn't handle jargon or specific terms very well. So the demo that I did was just pretty simple words. So out of curiosity, I wanted to test some very specific words that I thought PowerPoint would have a really hard time with. So I only tested a couple of these and then I stopped because I was like, I want to do this live on the video. Okay. So ready? Here we go. And I'm going to talk fast because I normally talk fast. So this is how I speak. Multinomial logistic regression, chi-square t-test. Okay. So it's separated chi-square with a comma, but it got the words. Okay. Structural equation modeling, or SEM. Did not get SEM. It turned it into a C. SEM. I'll give it one more chance. It has no idea what I'm saying. All right. Sorry, PowerPoint. That's a fail. All right. Hierarchical linear modeling. Okay, is it better with that one? But probably because I don't know, like it seems like if I incorporate it into a sentence, like I did hierarchical linear modeling, does it do well? Okay, it did all right there. But yeah, like the auto adjustments seem like it's throwing things off. Okay, norepinephrine. Oh, I got it. Hey. Epidemiology. And gastrointestinal motility. Okay. All right. So yeah, there we go. But again, I wonder if I said it in a sentence, like I'm an epidemiologist and I study norepinephrine, I'd actually still got it. Okay. So there you go. There's some of the words I thought would be the hardest, but I want you to test it out and report back which words it messed up and how it spelled it, like SCM being SCM instead of an E. Could just be the way I speak, but again, that's just how I speak. Now, I did ask Twitter to give me some fun recommendations for words to test, and I'll be doing that at the end of the video. But I first wanted to say just a few more things. So this is a great feature to improve the accessibility of your presentation. Subtitles are really good for a lot of people. And if the original text is too small, again, it looked like you could go in and change it. You can make it bigger. I don't know which versions of PowerPoint you can do that with, but it's still something for you to test. So there's a lot of promise here for improving the accessibility of our presentations. But there are some important limitations that I need to warn you about. First, this only works if you have an internet connection, and I think it needs to be a strong connection. So I don't know if this would work on a weak Wi-Fi signal, and that's really disappointing because I know, I've had to present when there's no internet. I'm sure you do too. So this won't work if you don't have internet. So that's kind of a bummer. Also, I really want to emphasize that this feature does not replace professional services or professional equipment or interpreters. Okay, so I'm not saying that. To me, this is more of a supplement, but in no way can you not do professional services, equipment, or interpreters for something like your conference and just tell everybody to use subtitles. Okay, they're not good enough for that. And there's a really good blog post by my friend Megan Longoria, and she talked about what a professional setup really looks like and what it was like to present with that. I highly recommend you check that out. And again, that's what you need for something like a conference. You can't just have people rely on subtitles. And she made a good point in her blog post about how if you want to do live demos on a website or a program like SPSS or something, you lose the subtitles. The subtitles only work while you're in PowerPoint. So that's another thing to think about. And again, I'll put the link to her blog post below. Now, I also need to give you a heads up that this feature makes death by PowerPoint slides even less tolerable because your slides, if you've noticed, they're actually smaller than normal because they had to make room for the subtitles. So if you already are creating walls of text with data tables and tiny font sizes, it gets smaller and it's just going to make things worse for your audience. So you really need to make sure that you have better slides. You need to have engaging and effective slides, so that when they are smaller for your subtitles, it doesn't have a negative impact on your slides and your slides still look great. Okay, so let me do a test of your recommendations. I totally feel like Honest Trailers right now. I don't know if you watch that YouTube channel. It's really fun. Okay, I have not tested any of this. This is totally live. So there's Megan, and let's do some of her test words. Okay, we're going to start with scrolly telling. It got it. That's great. Okay, here's another test. Let's talk about Gestalt principles. Nope. It added an S, probably because it's a German word. Habituation, croissant. Okay, it got those words. So, all right, not too bad. All right, Heather, here's yours. I am the Narnia queen of awesomeness. I have no that made me laugh so hard. It got it though. Got it. Okay. All right. Here we go. Acetylcholine uptake pathways in the hippocampus. What? It got that, but it couldn't do SEM. So acronyms are just hard for it. Oh, and it's like not doing well with my words right now. So you can't have excitement, it seems. You can't be like, what? It just turns into what? Okay. Remotely operated vehicle or telepresence. All right. That, PowerPoint did a good job with that. So, it's kind of mixed results here. So yeah, that was so much fun. Thanks for those suggestions. I might do more stuff like that. So keep an eye on Twitter for more questions for my upcoming YouTube videos. All right. Don't forget that I have a free course to help you make better presentations so that when you use subtitles, you don't negatively impact your presentation. The link to that course is below. And again, I am so curious how this works for more people. Please test it out and comment below. Be sure to tell me, what were you trying to say? What did PowerPoint actually, turn it into? What your subtitle settings were? And some context about what languages you were speaking, what accents you have, all that good stuff. Just very curious how well it works. And then that way people can look at comments and see if it's going to be helpful for them. But either way, I recommend that you test it out. All right. As usual, thank you so much for watching this video. If it was helpful, then please give it a nice thumbs up, hit subscribe, share it with a friend, spread the word about subtitles. And yeah, I'm Dr. Echo Rivera, and thank you for helping me end Death by PowerPoint. I'll see you next week. Bye.